Well, good morning. Today I'm enjoying a quiet day. Sometimes you have to be deliberate and you have to make the time for you. So today I have made some time for me. And I might sound a bit selfish, but I give out to a lot of people during my week. My week is often busy, I'm often crazy, running around after doing lots of things. And sometimes it's important to take some time out for you. So today that's what I'm doing. But I just wanted to have a chat today about some things that have been running through my mind. I work for part-time, I work for a doctor's surgery, and we have some regular patients that come in, and I was talking to one of them, as I regularly do, and we ended up somehow, one of those conversations, I don't exactly know how we got there, but we ended up talking about teaching your kids to budget. And I just thought that was a really good topic to talk about. Because I have three boys, as I said in my previous video. My youngest is 10, my middle one is 13, and my eldest is 16. My 16-year-old is currently an apprentice chef, so he's left school and going to TAFE and working full-time to become qualified and loving it. He went and got a job at 14. He was more interested in working than he was at finishing year 12, and he loves cooking and he's very passionate about what he was doing. So we've supported him in that, and we love seeing him grow and develop into being the man that he's going to be. And so he started working at 14. He went out and got himself a job at McDonald's. But from that point, I started to think about how can I teach my child to budget. All of a sudden he goes from having some pocket money that we give him to having wages that he's earned. And so they have, for a child, a lot of money when we clothe them, we feed them, we look after them, we house them, we do all of those things. That for a child is a lot of money. There's only so much takeaway, junk food and rubbish that they need to buy. So how can I teach my child, while he's young enough to still be impressionable and he's young enough that I can have an influence over his life, how can I teach him to budget? So we went and opened him a bank account, and rather than open it just in his name, we opened it in joint names. So on his check account, I don't have an EFTPOS card or anything like that, but I can see it on my internet banking. So we opened up a joint bank account. So when he gets paid into that bank account, and I can see what goes on in that bank account. So then we discussed with him, he has, we have another account for him that we set up, but he's not able to see until he's 21. He's a beneficiary in it though. It's essentially in his name, but I'm caring for it until he is older. So we agreed that at 14, he wanted to get his license. When he was 16, which he's got his L's and he's learning to drive, but when he was 17, he wanted a car. Now, I'd love to be able to say I can afford to buy my son a car, but I can't. Now, I didn't have my parents buy me a car. When I was 17, I got my P's. I'd worked really hard that summer. I had worked and worked, and I have worked, and I bought myself a car. And so we really wanted to go down that road with our child. We wanted to teach our child, we wanted to teach him to budget, to save for what he was earning. Now, so often today we live in this society where everything happens now, and kids these days, they want it now. It's an immediate society. The concept of waiting and saving is not an easy one when so much of our society is immediate. We can get onto the internet, we can go and see what we want to do, we can get there immediately. So I really wanted to teach him how to save. So at 14, he would get a certain amount that we talked about it, and we agreed how much he would have to spend. That was his spending money. He had an EFTPOS card, and he was able to do with that. It started off at $20, and that was plenty at 14. If he had something else on, he would come to me and say, "Oh, Mum, I've organised to catch up with friends, you agreed with this, can I have a bit more money?" And I'd agree and transfer the money over. And that's the benefit of having a joint bank account, is that I can easily access money. If he's short on money, he can message me, and within 2 minutes I have paid money into his account, and he's good to go. So that's another safety feature, which is really handy. But he would come to me, and if he needed money, extra money, I'd give it to him. But most of his wages he earned, he decided to put away for savings for a car. So most of his wages I would take out and put into his other beneficiary account, so that he was saving regularly. Every week he was saving for a car. And as he's progressed, as he's got further, we've continued that. Now he's working full time and fair enough, only on apprenticeship wages. So in the grander scheme of thing of the adult world, not earning great money, but for a 16-year-old, he's earning great money. So when you put some perspective on it, he's doing really well for himself, and he's also getting a qualification while he's going. But I just didn't want him to end up with all that money coming in every week and then going and buying this, that and the other. And I mean, he has bought things. He bought himself a new phone, but we talked about it. We talked about it, we discussed it, and we worked through that together. So I've been able to talk through these things with him when he wants to go out and spend large sums of money. We've had a conversation about it. We've talked about it. We've been able to discuss where he's going. And that's really important, not only to try and teach them to budget, but also to communicate and keep those communication lines open with our kids so that they do feel that they can come and talk to us, so that they can have a conversation with us. And he's now 16 and a half. He gets his P's beginning of next year sometime. And by the time he does that, he will have enough money to buy himself a new car. Now, I am so proud of him. I am so proud of him because he has worked for that. He has earned that car. He has put money away week after week after week after week. And I just wanted to discuss some of those issues because it's a really important issue that we teach our young people how to budget, that we teach them what money means and where it goes. Now, in amongst that, now that he's working full time, he pays for his own bus fare and pays for him to get himself to and from work. We pick him up at night when he finishes, but he gets himself to work. And he's responsible for that. He's also responsible for his own phone bill. Having got 3 kids, well, my older 2 are both in high school, and they both have a phone. Now, I can't afford to pay mobile phone bills for 4 people. So I offered to pay a cheaper bill for him, for both the 2 that are in high school. Or I said, if you want to pay your own and you want your own amount of data, then feel free to pay for it yourself. So he pays me for his phone bill. And that again is a really good skill to teach our kids because it's small, it's only a phone bill, but he is beginning to learn that money doesn't grow on trees. And if you want something, you have to work for it, you have to earn it. And these things all take work. And as he gets older and as he progresses, we'll keep adding things in and adding amounts he spend in. But we talk to him regularly about his finances. We discuss how he's saving. We discuss where his money goes. And I show him his account that he's beneficiary in on a regular basis and say, hey, mate, you're doing really well. You've got this in your account. That's fantastic. And he'll say to me, well, I've been looking at this for a car. Like, this is what I'm thinking. And so then we can have a discussion about that, and that's really important. As our kids grow up, the older they get, they do get to the point where they think, oh, mum and dad don't know anything, and they don't pay attention to you. But while our kids are influenceable, while they listen, it's really important that we still instill some values in them, even if they get older and they eventually do and probably will do some things that we look at and go, why are you doing that? Hopefully we've installed enough values in them that as they grow up, they mature, they will learn, and they will learn how to sensibly use their money. And if kids these days can learn how to sensibly use their money and sensibly budget, then they're going to get a lot further in the adult world. It's getting harder and harder these days to buy a house, to be able to get into that market. And it's really now, you need to be thinking of these things when you're younger. We need to be teaching our kids how to budget, not doing it all for them, because I'm a firm believer in not doing it all for them. My middle one, he gets pocket money, but he works for his pocket money. He does chores around the house, and if he doesn't do his chores, guess what? I won't pay him. So it's really simple and a really important thing to teach our kids how to budget, how to save, how to work for their living, because it's a hard world out there. And when they grow up, we have to be the ones that have prepared them. We have to be the ones that have shown them and taught them some really important skills so that they can stand on those skills, so that as they get older, they can excel and succeed and do really well in life. So I just felt this was a really important topic to discuss, not necessarily an easy one, and I'm sure everyone's got 6,000 different opinions on how they do it, and there isn't any one way that works for people. This is just, for me, this is just how I've done it. And this is not financial advice. This is just my story in how I've taught my kids to budget, because what I would like out of this, I'm hoping that other people will be able to look at this and think and go, well, how can I teach my kids? What system is going to work for me? What is going to work for my lifestyle? And for us, the system that I've just spoken about, that's what works for our lifestyle and for our style of family. But for everyone, you'll all have something different. But find your thing and teach your kids while they're younger, before they turn 18 and they're adults and they can do their own thing and they mightn't necessarily listen to you, but teach them while they're younger how to budget, how to be wise with their money, because the wiser we are with the money, if we are good stewards with our money, then we're going to be able to fulfill our dreams. We're going to be able to live. We're going to be able to go on that holiday. We're going to be able to go and see this thing and do that and do what we want to do. We've all got dreams and things we'd love to do, and quite often we'll say, oh, I can't do that, I can't afford it. There's no way I'll be able to do that. Well, we can. We can. We just need to be wise. We need to be sensible with our money and plan. And teaching our young kids how to do that is so very important. So that's all I wanted to share today. I'm going to go back and enjoy my me day and enjoy some time out. One of my favourite things is to enjoy a quiet house, and today everybody is out at school or work, and so I am just enjoying the tranquility and the peace and quiet of my house, which doesn't happen very often when I live in we're a family of 5, so quite often there's nearly always someone around making noise of some form. And for me, I love them all, but I also love taking those moments and taking a few moments of peace and quiet. And so today, that's what I've done. I've been deliberate. I have intentionally not done my work, which for me was a challenge. I've had to go, no, I'm not doing that today. I promised myself I wouldn't work. So for me, I am deliberately not working. I have deliberately not organised anything work-related, and I am deliberately taking time because I need to recharge my batteries too, so that I can go out and give to others and do what I do on an everyday basis. So this is what I'm doing today. So I'm going to wish you all goodbye, and I do hope you have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the long weekend, and don't forget to do something for you and just enjoy life. Life is there to be lived. Talk to you later.